Chapter 747. Auction 1. Translator. Atlas Studios. Editor. Atlas Studios. The mountain stood high above the clouds. On the peak there was a mirror-like pond reflecting the traces of clouds in the sky. This was Zhenwu Blessed Land, the headquarters of Northern Plains Yuan tribe. The surname Yuan was not rare. It was very ordinary, in southern border, eastern sea, western desert. It existed in all 5 regions. But in Northern Plains, the surname Yuan was much more significant. It represented a superforce, a supreme authority. In the sky above the water, a white-robed old man was waving his spear. His aura was grand as he whipped up wind currents that moved the clouds. The old man was white-haired but greatly spirited. His body was moving around, sometimes fast as lightning, sometimes slow like a rock. With the spear in his hand, he extended it like a dragon's movement. It was very surreal. But regardless of how much commotion he caused, the lake on this mountain peak did not even have any ripples. It was calm like a mirror. The lake water had much life. The seaweed was moving without any currents in it. A large group of carps watched the white-robed old man wave his spear under the water. They were opening their mouths continuously as they spoke one by one. "Old man Yuan, you danced pretty well. It was a good sight. These spear skills are not bad. You had a trace of Taoist spear's shadow. The spear was swept too greatly, though. The angle was a little off." Hearing the carp's words, the old man stopped his movements, landing beside the pond. The long spear in his hands was still giving off a bright white light. It turned into a goo and went into his robe. Next, he paid respects to the carp in the pond as he inquired, "May I ask the horizontal sweep earlier? Why was the angle off? You used too much strength. Too brutish, you lost your grace. Old man, you are too old and yet feisty. You should eat some seaweed to lower it." The carps spoke incessantly, criticizing with no restraint. These carps were not ordinary. Their skin was white as snow, while their scales were black like ink. The black and white formed a clear contrast. There was no other color. People called them true martial carp. They were born from heaven and earth. Each of them was a mutated beast king. The old man thought about it before raising his finger, using his arm instead of a spear, and practicing his moves. "Is this okay?" "No." "Wrong. Old man, you are so stupid." The carps spoke one after another, scolding the old man. At this time, a Yuan tribe Gu immortal, Yuan Chi, came running. Hearing the true martial carp's criticism, he did not feel anything strange. He paid respects to the old man as he said dutifully, "Greetings to First Supreme Elder." The white-robed old man was Yuan tribe's first Supreme Elder, having ranked 7 cultivation level with peak battle strength. Seeing someone come, he frowned unhappily. "Junior Yuan Chi, why are you here? Didn't I say that when I am practicing my martial arts, I do not want anyone to disturb me? Lord, you instructed me earlier, so I am here to remind you not to miss the auction." Yuan Chi was extremely respectful. "Oh, there was such a thing. I nearly forgot. That means the auction is happening soon?" Yuan tribe's first Supreme Elder patted his forehead. Yuan Chi laughed bitterly. "Lord, today is the day of the auction. Ah, time flies so quickly. Lad, thank you for reminding me. When I return, I will reward you. Off I go." Saying so, Yuan tribe first Supreme Elder waved his sleeves, and an immortal goo flew out of the pond. This goo was called human language. It could turn the words of beasts into human words. Human language. Immortal goo left, and the discussions of the true martial carps came to an end. One could only hear the slight bubbling when they opened their mouths. Yuan tribe first elder collected the human language. Immortal goo and flew away, turning into light. The carp groups swam around one another. After some discussion, they felt bored and swam away. Yuan Chi looked at First Elder's figure as he vanished into the horizon. "First Elder is still the same?" He sighed, waving his sleeves at the pond. Winds blew and clouds moved. A thick white cloud covered and concealed this important place in Yuan tribe's territory. Magnolia Pulp Boat returns to the homeland of the lotus flower, Singing in the hall lasts till late into the night. The lake reflects the willows surrounded by light fog. Mountains far away resemble the contours of a beard that curls beautifully like a yellow moon. A scholar moved his head around as he held his scroll, sitting in a pavilion with lotus flowers in the water. He recited in this calm night, as wind blew and a fragrance spread. A female attendant was beside the scholar. Her facial features were picturesque. Her skin was white like snow. She was holding a small vessel as she poured wine into the wine cup. After the scholar finished reciting his poem, he held his scroll as he looked at it while grabbing the wine cup on the table. He drank the wine without even looking at it. After gulping it down, he said, "Although the wine is good, there is not much left. During this auction, we should request for a few more jars from that person. Hong Shu, you will go with me on this trip. Let Tianxiang stay here and guard the blessed land." "Yes, young master." The female attendant was overjoyed as she replied quickly, "Ding, ding, ding." Immortal Gu Heavenly Gong's sound resonated in the mind of Gu Immortal He Long Zi. He sat on the ground, opening his eyes as blood flowed out of his 7 orifices. This immortal Gu Heavenly Gong is very powerful. I had only activated 5% of its power, but my 5 intestines shifted and my blood flowed backwards, even though I had also been activating a top-tier defensive mortal killer move. He Longzi laughed sinisterly. His blood flow went back to normal. In a few breaths of time, it was like he had never been injured. Such power! I do not need to worry about the immortal Gu not being traded by anyone. He stood up and flew towards Crimson Reed Marsh. This is Crimson Reed Marsh? The scenery is great here. A rank 8 Gu Immortal, wearing a tall hat and with a common face, was looking down at the Crimson Reed Marsh below him. But all he saw were reeds growing, with water pathways that were complex and interweaved, resembling a maze. What was most eye-catching here were not the water ducks, the gulls, or the fish. It was the crimson red reed. Countless reeds surfaced from the water vigorously, seemingly carrying grandness and boldness. They were imposing and expanded without restraint. With the attitude of a king, they subdued all of the living beings here and took them for themselves. The rank 8 Gu Immortal observed before saying with some amazement, "This scenery has both delicateness and grandness. The outstanding nature is hidden deeply." Based on such a sight, this Qinbai Sheng clearly is a meticulous person. Despite his grandness, he is unrestrained, but also has a scheming mind. No wonder he could cause such a commotion and hold this grand auction. Esteemed guest has brilliant judgment. A rank 7 Gu Immortal beside him nodded in agreement. Qinbai Sheng's actions were truly the source of a huge commotion. It was a great method to protect himself. I, Murong Jin Xiao, admire his actions greatly. I am looking forward to it, this auction that involves almost all of Northern Plains' heroes. The rank 8 Gu Immortal, greeted as the esteemed guest, retracted his gaze, his tone becoming excited. "Ha ha ha, Eastern Sea is rich in resources. Countless heroes emerge from there. Esteemed guest is an overlord of a region, controlling the entire Glass Sea. Although Northern Plains has many talents, there are few that are worthy of receiving your compliment," Murong Jin Xiao said respectfully. From his words, it seemed that this mysterious guest was not a Northern Plains Gush Immortal. He came from Eastern Sea. "Brother Qin, we meet again." Fang Yuan cupped his fists, greeting Qin Bai Sheng. "Ha ha ha, Brother Sha, I have been waiting for you, but I did not expect you to come directly from Fairy Li Shan's side." Qin Bai Sheng was very enthusiastic. He grabbed Fang Yuan's arms, like he really regarded him as a brother. On name, Fang Yuan and Tai Bai Yunsheng went together. They did not travel in Northern Plains. Instead, they entered Fairy Li Shan's blessed land and used Whole Earth Gu to reach Bai Sheng blessed land. With their earlier agreement and the mountain pledge, Gu, Fairy Li Shan's, and Qin Bai Sheng's blessed lands had been set up with a pair of Whole Earth Gu, allowing them to connect. Fang Yuan brought the 13 sleeping cloud coffins and arrived in the blessed land through this path, meeting Qin Bai Sheng once again. "There's no choice. I have such valuable treasures with me. With my low cultivation level, I can only come here through this method to reduce the risk." Fang Yuan purposely laughed bitterly. Don't be humble, brother. You are so well hidden. Your depth is unfathomable. With just you and Fairy Li Shan's relationship, who would dare to target you? Qin Bai Sheng said respectfully. No matter how good you are, there is always someone better than you. But if I have brother's battle strength, I would have no fear. Fang Wen quickly replied, in terms of interpersonal skills, he was not inferior to Qin Bai Sheng. I wonder who this is. Qin Bai Sheng turned around, looking at Tai Bai Yun Sheng, who was next to Fang Yuan. Right now, Tai Bai Yun Sheng had used unfamiliar face and turned into an ordinary old man. His appearance was very different from before. Oh, this is my good friend, Gu Immortal Bai Sheng, Fang Yuan introduced fearlessly. Bai Sheng, forgive my ignorance. I did not know that a person of your caliber was hidden in our northern plains. Qin Bai Sheng took the initiative to greet. No, I am flattered, Tai Bai Yun Sheng quickly responded. Qin Bai Sheng brought Fang Yuan and Tai Bai Yun Sheng to the auction hall. For this auction, I purposely altered my blessed land to form this huge auction hall, Qin Bai Sheng introduced. It is quite extraordinary. There is a very magnificent aura, as expected of Brother Qin's setup. Fang Yuan smiled as he praised. Qin Bai Sheng showed a hint of worry and doubt, saying, I have no choice. Many huge forces and countless experts in Northern Plains were all invited to this auction. As the person in charge, if the auction is too run down, I will be offending them. Honestly speaking, there had been a huge pressure on me these recent days. I could barely sleep. Thankfully, with Brother Shah, the Blessed Lands will definitely be a popular item when up for auction. I can't wait to see that commotion. I wonder if you have many. Fang Yuan did not say a number, only smiling as he said, Brother Qin, you can be at ease about it. No need to worry. Haha, of course I'm not worried. Qin Bai Sheng's gaze flashed since he could not probe the answer. He changed the topic. In this auction, I have the main hall, single rooms, and secret rooms. The main hall can allow free interaction. The single rooms are for those Gu immortals with strange temperaments or who enjoy being alone. The secret rooms will hide everything about the Gu immortal's identity. These three arrangements have been written in the Alliance content long ago. Brother Shah does not need to worry that I have done some tricks behind the scenes. I wonder which location Brother Shah would choose. These three locations, can they be swapped at will during the process of the auction? Fang Wen asked first. Of course. But if a secret room is already occupied, unless the owner agrees, nobody can get in, Qin Bai Sheng answered. Then I will choose a secret room, Fang Wen said. I will choose a secret room too. Tai Bai Yun Sheng followed behind. Qin Bai Sheng nodded. The first 9 secret rooms have been booked already. I'll give you the 10th and 11th rooms respectively. How about that? Fang Yuan and Tai Bai Yun Sheng had no reason to say no. After they entered their secret rooms, Bai Sheng Blessed Land opened its entrance and invited many Gu immortals in.